And so he sent me Hustle. And to me, at first I turned it down. I was like, I don't know if this is right for me, and I was writing my own movie at the time. And
Hi, Jeremiah.
hey, how are you?
I'm doing fine, and you?
Turning off my phone.
Sure. That's important.
Yes, very important. I have to do it.
Yes, it's a pleasure to talk to you. Oh my God, and I love the movie, and I think it's exceptional. All this editing, all the scenes, like the cinematography, everything about it. So I'm gonna ask you, like your background, like is in documentary, commercial. You did one of the movies that I love the most, With the Animals. How did you come from there, that type of movies, that type of directing, to this big one?
Well, you really know how to flatter a person. I feel very good now. Well, after I made We the Animals, because it was nominated for some Spirit Awards and it did pretty well. I got an agent and stuff, a new, there were some, Hollywoody movies coming my way. But none of them were quite right for me. And then when the pandemic hit, I was living in Massachusetts on a little farm, and I got a call one day from Adam Sandler, kind of out of the blue. And he said he loved We the Animals, and we started talking, and he said, why don't you read the script? You might like it. And so he sent me Hustle. And to me, at first I turned it down. I was like, I don't know if this is right for me, and I was writing my own movie at the time. And then I started thinking about it, and because it takes place in Philadelphia, and because Adam wanted to work with all real basketball players, there was a heart in the movie that obviously you responded to that got me excited, that the possibility of an emotional core that I could relate to. And so I told my agent that, maybe I was interested. And then Adam called me right away, and we started talking, and we had such a good conversation and a very comfortable way with each other that I thought, okay, let's give it a try. And then I didn't know if it would really work until we started casting, and we saw Juancho, and Noelle Gentile, who's the acting coach for We the Animals and who's the acting coach for this. When she started working with Juancho, you saw the movie come to life. You said, oh, this is what the movie can be. And that became very exciting for me and for Adam, and I think for everybody on board.
Yeah, I was very excited. And also I watched the movie with my 11-year-old. He's a huge basketball fan. And I have a question for him. How did you decide to pick the right players? Basketball players. He wants to know that.
Well, we have a team. We have a team of basketball, a basketball team. There was a guy named Mike Fisher, and there's a guy named Dell Demps. And there's another huge basketball fan involved in the movie. His name is Adam Sandler. And then there is another guy named Joe Vesey. And sort of, we would all combine ideas. I'm not as big a basketball fan as those guys. I like basketball a lot, but not like those guys. Those guys are crazy for basketball. And so, there were basketball players that they had seen, do press conferences like Anthony Edwards, that they thought, Adam thought, he's the right guy for this role, and again, Noelle started working with him, and it was right on the money. And then as the script evolved, we started to think of, who were the players that we really wanted. People like Dr. J, came into the picture. And he wasn't in the picture until, into the second year of making the movie because of the pandemic. And we rewrote the script for him. People like Allen Iverson, people like Luka Doncic, they came in, bit by bit. And as we started to accumulate all these legendary basketball players, it got really exciting. The other guy that was, you know, Adam suggested, who ended up being unbelievable, is Kenny Smith. Obviously, he's just a wonderful actor and a wonderful man, and he was perfect for the role.
Yeah, it was funny because he was recognizing all the players, and he was like, "Oh, this is Anthony, this is Kenny, this is Chancho." Ta, ta, ta. I was like, "Oh my God, that's so exciting!" And amazing.
I think it was Del who suggested Boban, who ended up being, you know, the funniest, most wonderful character in the movie in some ways.
I love it. And the cinematography, it's wonderful. Like, how did you decide, like, how is it the approach? You use the same cinematographer with the animals, right? So
That's
how
right.
was like this approach for this basketball movie?
Well, when Adam called me and said, you know, I want you to make this movie, I called Zach right away and I said, Zach, do you want to do this with me? And he did. He had some other jobs that were that were also coming up, so it was a little nerve-wracking, but he signed on, and we sort of approached it the same way we did We the Animals. You know, with the Zach and my ethos is make it real. You know, how do you make it real? How do you make it feel authentic and true? And we sort of think of it, you know, for every scene. That's our main focus. And then we watched a lot of basketball. I think it was very exciting for us to imagine how the basketball could be a challenge and could be different from things that you'd seen in other movies, maybe, and ways in which you'd watched basketball on television. And we enlisted, you know, a bunch of the same people we worked with on We the Animals. This guy, Tim Sessler, who did all of our aerial stuff on We the Animals, he built this tiny remote control car called a Tero that we put the camera on, that we would race around the players. That was kind of a new basketball thing. And we built this thing that we called it's called the Charlie bar. We just made it, but it was a bar that stuck out from the player's stomach, and it would point directly at the player so that they could look right into the camera, so it would feel as if they were making eye contact with the audience as they were playing the game. You know, one of the things that I was told by a basketball player early on in the process is that they rarely ever look at the ball, almost never. What they're really looking at is the way that the people move, and that they can tell where the ball is going to go by the way their opponent is moving their body. And I thought that was such a beautiful idea, and we wanted to capture things like that on film to make the audience feel as if they were inside the game.
Yeah, we felt that. It was amazing. And on that take, what was like your biggest challenge? Was the cinematography, the editing?
Everything is a challenge. When you make a movie, every day is a challenge. There's no biggest challenge. You just like are praying that you can get through the day. You know, that's how I feel every single day that I make any of my movies. But, you know, you're lucky if you have collaborators that help you through those challenges, you know, like, you know, the wonderful editors on the project, you know, and there's a lot of people that worked with me for years, you know, my editor, Keiko, Jeremy Yakis, my producer, you know, Noel Gentile and Zach, like these people that I've been working with for so long, they help you through. They help you get through. And then new people too, people like Barry and Adam, and you know, it's a team effort to make it not so bad.
Yeah. The score is also beautiful. Like you work with Dan Deacon. How was this collaboration came about?
Oh, I love Dan. So Dan and I did a sports documentary called Always a Fire that I directed with Nathan Caswell about 10 years ago. And I'd been a fan of Dan's music, and I used his score in that short film. And I was like, if I ever get to make a sports movie, I'm going to call Dan Deacon. And so I called him up, and he was like, yeah, let's do it, you know? And he sent me all of these tracks that were unreleased, some of them, and some of them, you know, had lyrics. He took the lyrics out for us, and we started to cut the movie together with his music as a temp. And Adam loved it, and the editors loved it, and it was a match made in heaven. And then we started to work on the score together, and it clicked right away. It was like, it was this really special, these sounds that felt new, but yet anthemic and traditional at the same time. It was very exciting for me to every time he would put in a new track and be like, oh, there's the movie. That's what it feels like.
Amazing, Jeremiah. This is the time that I have with you. I have so many questions. There's a lot to talk about. I really enjoyed the movie. I love the movie, and I hope everybody liked the movie like I did. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
If you like this video, don't forget to comment, to like, and subscribe to our channel right here.